Hey, it's Clay Trader, and this will be a video chart on ticker symbol APRN. We will take a look at the 15-minute time frame. Real quick, what do I mean by 15-minute in case maybe you're new to charts? Instead of each one of these candlesticks here representing 1 day's worth of price action, which is what you would normally see, each one represents 15 minutes worth of time. So while this here may look like a few weeks worth of time, it's actually just the past day broken down into 15-minute time slices. So 1 day broken down into 15-minute time slices. I like to do this time frame. I think it does a good job of telling the quote-unquote story of the price, and then makes mapping out levels of support and resistance a bit easier to see. Don't mean to rub salt in one's wounds or anything like that, but pretty brutal day for the bulls. The bears took a big old bite out of it, but that does lead into a very interesting setup going into tomorrow. And that setup all revolves around, late afternoon and the price simply going sideways. Now you may be thinking, geez, that's setting the bar kind of low. You're saying that simply going sideways is actually some sort of good sign. Well, let's keep things in mind here. Let's keep context in mind. And what was the context of things throughout the pretty much the majority of the day? I mean, the context was just bleeding and bleeding and bleeding, and then finally the price started to go sideways. Now, don't get me wrong, and I wish the market was this easy. I wish trading was this easy. Just because the price has started to go sideways here does not mean that it's guaranteed to bounce and it's guaranteed to go back up to 450 or something like that tomorrow. Now, would I be shocked to see some sort of bounce? No, that would not be shocking at all. But I can't sit here, nor can anybody else sit around and say, yeah, it's guaranteed to bounce, because guarantees, they just don't exist in the market. And that's why that sideways price action does at least create, some interest, because it implies, it suggests that, hey, you know what, maybe there's enough buyers now to absorb all the selling pressure, and the absorbing part is being represented by the sideways price action. So key level of support going into tomorrow is definitely right down there at the $3.75 mark, for the very simple reason of, well, that's as low as it went today. So if this is the low, well, then you're going to want to see the price stay above there, because not to insult your intelligence, but that's why I love charts. They really do kind of insult your intelligence when you look at them certain ways. But if the price breaks below 375, then obviously that is no longer the bottom, and the bears are still in total control because the price is now putting in a new low. What about if the price does start to bounce? So in the event of a bounce, where are some potential areas of resistance at? First key area of resistance on any sort of bounce, right up there at $3.95. And then if the price can break up through $3.95, next key overall area up there at the $4.05 mark. So $3.95, $4.05 going to be those two initial hurdles to keep an eye on. I don't want to go any further than that, because step one is obviously just making sure this is some sort of bottom that's forming, and just have the price continue to stabilize. And then after that, you can start to worry about, the hurdles and if the price can break up above them. So interesting day, interesting afternoon, and again, each of these represents 15 minutes. I'm ending on that because you look right here at this big old volume bar, huge volume during the final 15 minutes, and you got a nice little hammer candle there. So we will see if this leads into anything or not tomorrow to close out the week. One of the biggest questions that I get is, hey Clay, how do you find the stocks that you trade? So what I've done is put together a free resource guide where I talk about the tools that I use to locate stocks that I find interesting and think may have potential. So if that sounds like something that could add value to you as a trader, then click on the image that is up on the screen right now, and I will email you the guide. The guide itself is very short and to the point, and best part, it's completely free. Thanks for watching the video. Let me know if you have any questions.